What's going on, guys? I'm here in Leipzig now. I've officially moved. If you watch my last video, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I've officially moved. But I do want to talk to you guys about something today, something that really hits home for me, right? So if you don't already know, I lost both my parents before I turned 18. My mom died when I was 13. My dad died when I was 17. And it was tough because when my mom died at 13, right? My dad was always working overseas, and right after my mom died, COVID happened. So then I was probably like 14 and a half when COVID happened. And I didn't see my dad basically for like almost 3 years. Actually, I think it was 3 years. Yeah, it was like 3 years that I didn't see my dad. 2.5, 3 years, something like that. But anyways, from the ages of 14 till 17 and a half, I didn't see my dad at all. And I was basically alone. So I had to learn a lot of things alone. I learned a lot about life, about how to do things, about being strong. Like I had to really learn how to be strong. And I just want to share the life lessons that I learned with you guys today. Yeah, but before that, just want to continue my story. The next time that I did see my dad again, I was 17, and my dad was diagnosed with cancer. So he had to go from work. Basically, he was in Saudi at the time. It got so bad that he had to go to Canada to get treated. So then I went after him. I went to Canada. My uncle bought me a flight, went to Canada, saw my dad again, and he was basically like on the verge of dying. He was just unrecognizable. I couldn't recognize him anymore. I remember walking into that hospital room and I saw my dad, and before I even said anything, just started crying like nonstop because of how fucked my dad was. I was like, he's dead. That was my first reaction. I said, he's gonna die. And then I just started crying. Then I went to see my dad, and he was laying on that bed, and I was hugging him, crying on his chest, and he was like just, patting my head basically because he was so weak. He couldn't even say anything. But yeah. So I just want to share the two biggest life lessons that I learned from my experiences basically, and give value to you guys. And hopefully, if you are going through a hard time right now, hopefully the lessons that I give you can help you. Actually, it will help you if you implement the strategies that I'm about to tell you, right? So the first lesson, let's start with the first lesson. The first lesson that I learned was no one is coming to save you. I know that people around you might seem like they care, and to a certain point, they do care. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they don't care at all. They do care, but to a certain point. You have to understand that most people care about themselves. They have their own problems going on, so it's not their fault. They still care about you, but not as much as you would like them to, is what I'm saying. So what do you do then if people don't care about you? You don't go around, telling people all your problems. You can tell them some, but you don't have to tell them everything because, to be honest, they don't really care. You can tell them your problems or whatever, but don't tell them too much, okay? Just what you have to do is you have to save yourself. And what do I mean by this? You don't sit around and you don't cry staring at your ceiling all day long, being depressed, scrolling on your phone, That's what I did at one point. At one point, I was just losing myself. Like I was waking up extremely late. I'd wake up at like 12 and stuff like that and just scroll my phone all day or play video games all day until I basically went to sleep. And it was horrible because then my mental health got bad, my physical health got bad, how I viewed myself got bad. I was just going down this downward spiral. And then, eventually at one point I started smoking weed, and then I started drinking, being around the wrong people basically, and I just lost myself even more. So that's not what you do. What you do when you go through hard times and challenges is you build yourself. You use that pain inside of you to build yourself. So what do I mean by this is you have a lot of pain, you go to the gym, and you focus on the gym, and you focus on creating good habits that will help you. I don't know, you set a daily routine that's going to help you. You start going to the gym, you start eating healthy, you have a daily routine that's going to put your life ahead, okay? Don't do any destructive things. Don't do any destructive things at all, because that's going to lead you down a downward spiral. You don't want to do that. You don't want to start smoking. You don't want to start drinking if you're going through things, because it's going to probably 10x the addiction. Like, I don't know if you ever thought this, but like, when you're in pain, right, you kind of want to smoke a cigarette. I don't understand why, but you want to smoke a cigarette because you feel like the pain's going to go away. Or I don't know if you've ever seen these people, but there's people who have pain, right? And they're like 40, 50. They never really healed. They never really improved themselves. So they're like out there smoking all the time. I remember being at work in Canada. I was 18, working in a restaurant, and these people just would drink all the time and they would smoke all the time. And I'd ask them, why do you do that? Why do you drink and smoke all the time? They'd be like, oh, because my dad died when I was 20 years ago. Some shit like that. That's not what you do. What you do is you improve yourself. The only way to really get over pain is to improve yourself. That's what I did. I used the pain that I had inside of me to improve myself in every single way possible. I improved my mindset. I improved my physique. I improved my discipline. And that helped me improve my life. I just used my pain to my advantage. Every great man goes through pain. But that's the thing. Every great man goes through pain. And they use that pain to their advantage to drive them forward. Pain is a great motivator if you let it be. If you don't let it destroy you, it will take you to new heights every single day now. I use my pain to my advantage. I wake up every day and I miss my parents and I love them, and I'm in pain because of that, right? Because they're not here anymore. They're not here to be with me. I can't talk to them when I'm feeling lonely. They won't see my success. Yeah, that's painful, but I use that to my advantage. So I work more. I go to the gym more. I spend time with better people. I do whatever to improve myself. Think, oh, this is going to make my parents proud if I improve myself. Okay, so that's lesson number 1, is no one's going to come save you, and you need to use your pain in order to improve. No one's going to come save you, so you need to save yourself, right? That's lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 is your life depends on you. The outcome of your life depends on you. Now, if you're going through hard times, like I said, right, there's 2 options. You either improve or you go down this downward spiral. You don't want to go down the downward spiral. So whatever you do when you're in pain, make sure it's good. Make sure it's not going to lead you towards the downward spiral of your life. Like I said, I made that mistake before. Don't do that. Thank God I got out of it. I got out of a bad environment, and then I improved myself. I took myself seriously. Took my self-improvement seriously. Okay, so you can think about this. Life is going to be hard no matter what. I don't care how good your life is right now. One day someone's going to die. Someone you really love is going to die. They're going to get hit in a car. They're going to get hit by a car. They're going to have a car accident. They're going to be sick. They're going to have cancer. I don't know. Something tragic is going to happen. It's not about the things happening to us. It's how we react to the things that happen to us that's going to determine the outcome of your life. So I want you to ask this. Are you doing things that will improve your life? Or are you doing things that will destroy your life? Really ask yourself that. Those are the 2 lessons that I wanted to give to you. Hopefully that helps. Leave a comment if you want me to make a video about something, or you can always message me on Instagram if you need some advice on something. And I actually do have a one-to-one coaching program as well, and that's going to be the first link in the description. So if you're interested in working with me to improve your discipline, your mindset, your habits, and your physique, book your call there in the first link in the description, and we'll have a conversation. I love you. Hope this video helped. Mwah.